keep following me around, don't you? You're following me around a lot. You're stalking me, literally. It's very uncomfortable. Yep, wait, you haven't given me a reason. I know, but anybody can come up to you and tell you a story. Is it true or not? I know it's got nothing to do with you. But remember the day with the incident outside the police, yeah? The day outside the police, 14th of September. Well, this is the Crown Prosecution Service apologizing. This is the Northumberland Police who's going to give you all the evidence for the whole case, which we pursue. This is a letter from the solicitor that shows I was maliciously alleged against by your colleagues here. If you keep listening to me about you harassing me and you're stalking me here, you're a nice guy, I'm sure. If I meet you out there, I'll show you. I see you're a nice guy, but I can't. Yeah, but I feel. Do you ever approach me and tell me? Is there a reason I call that you're following? By who? Which one? Well, I don't necessarily know your name, but you've got reception, you've got executive, you've got social workers.
Our security guard in this building. It's rolling the whole building.
Sure, which is good.
Sitting on that reception and this reception.
Okay.
When you're not here, i.e. an hour ago, we were still about here.
Oh, but the thing is, every time I'm here, you're wherever I am. What harm do you think is going to come to you from me?
It's busy over here. It's quiet over there because it's not a pedestrian area now. This is, so that's why we're here.
But you know very well what we're talking about. You know, we're targeted. You know, it's difficult to you. So you just out of coincidence, is it?
9 to 10. This is my job, this is what I have to do.
Alright, you say that, but from access to files, from the Chief Executive, Director, Head of Social Services, Social Workers, I'm going through whole access to every right down to here. If it comes out, they're going to instruct you, because I know you're not picking me, I don't have any doubt, you're not picking me. If you are, well, I don't think you are still. But if they've instructed you to do it, then you'll be a party to it. Well, no, it's just going to go back to you as well, because you're reporting that.
I'm not employed by the council.
Who are you employed by?
I'm employed by security. And that's what it is to tell you for security.
Who's Michael Lamb?
No, you don't.
Never? No. So which security are you from?
Steadfast.
Steadfast?
Get your feet in here, eh?
You've got signal flares, or was it Steadfast and Goldberg? Okay, thank you.
Sure, I've seen this place, so many people and security is still on the snow and
Is that her?
Put your foot in. Well, you get 14. Oh dear. Well, just story book.
Hello guys.
Appointment was for 10 o'clock. Got an email saying that confirmed for 10.
I don't know anything about it. I thought it's 11.
No. Well,
Is it the cops? Oh.
so
You've spoken to someone yesterday and they said 11, didn't they?
so
The
we got
email I have says 10, 11 and the 9th
Yeah.
of September. So
yeah.
it
So
was
there was 3 appointments offered, but you've emailed legal to say that you would come for 10.
Have you?
What was the other three?
Well,
Sorry, what were the other two, I should say?
I'm asking about, that you've confirmed for 10. So anyway, I'm busy for it 11:30, so we've got half an hour because these
What were your other ones then?
I tell you 1 second.
So that maybe we just leave you to it and come on the other ones if we've missed the timing.
8th of
What's the
November, 10
clock? It
o'clock.
might be my
8th of
fault.
November, 11, and 10th of November at 10. So
What time today? Apart from 10?
10 or 11.
10 or 11?
I haven't confirmed anything. I was only putting news.
Yeah, I think I may have. I think that might be my fault. I think one of the clocks wasn't adjusted, and I'm going by the week. You know, they've done the clocks, and one of the clocks in the house wasn't reset.
Oh, when they've turned.
Ah, my fault. Yep, I know what's going on now.
Yeah, so we've got half an hour. So
What are we hoping to achieve this time?
what I'm hoping to achieve is that you have a full understanding of what expectations are around family time, that is agree and it's signed and we can move forward.
I can't agree to that.
No, hold on a minute. There's going to be a confusion now. No, that's not what
Do
she
we
meant, and that's not what she
understand?
meant. Can you read?
Do we
read
understand the damage that you have caused to the children by stopping us from seeing them for nearly a month now? We're talking about
You're talking about the
18-month-old
alienation
baby, 19th now,
distance
who was
of
still
time.
breastfeeding, and you have refused contact for a month. Are you aware the process now, if we're going to see her this week or next week, what you have to follow to reduce the damage that you've caused to her?
Because we can't just walk up to them now like we did before.
Would you like me to answer?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So the contact has been stopped by a court order.
Well, the contact has been
No,
stopped
it
because
doesn't
you
say that.
asked
No,
the
it
court
doesn't say
to
that.
stop it. It's not the court that made the decision.
You
You
applied for
wait
it.
and you've asked. You actually haven't got the order. We have contested hearing
Is
on the
there anything?
15th that we're going to
Is there
discuss.
anything in here that you know that I can write down that you're strongly disagreeing with?
Lots of things.
Well,
Would you like to go through it?
You said.
Okay. I think her concerns were, you know, between my knowledge of the work I used to do as a health advocate and my knowledge of, this is the 4th now case with social services in childcare proceedings, none of which the 3 previous proceedings have ever social services adopted my children. I would die first before I let that happen, and I have ways where I will stop it one way or another. But the problem is not the court process we're talking about, but in the process I've additionally acquired knowledge about the top health institutes in the world that even the British government abide by. A trauma to a child in different circumstances. One from child removal, rightly or wrongly, is not what we're talking about, and the child's perception of alienation from the parent. The more days you leave and a week goes by, it's different to 2-3 weeks than 2-3 months. If those children were to come through now, the little baby at her age, what the clinical institutions, even the Anna Freud Center and the Quorum Institute, approved by Parliament, go by, you can't just walk up to the baby now and just, oh, hello.
Mr. Shemi,
Do you know that, yeah?
do you give me consent to talk about your mental health in front
My
of
mental health?
your wife?
Far away. Go on.
So I have raised a concern with the crisis team because I'm worried about mental health.
Why is that then?
And the impact on the engagement as well. I'm aware that.
Is that what they told you to tell me?
2003 with
Sorry, what was the diagnosis with?
a personality disorder
Well, that was
with narcissistic
right.
traits.
That was challenged, and then we got bigger psychiatrists in this country than Dr. McLean.
How is she talking about 2003?
Because
when
they've dug
she's
all the
not talking
papers
about
and they can't do
homes?
nothing with the last one. They've gone back
I'm
to it.
just
That's
worried.
fine.
I'm just so it's Dr. McLean.
That's fine. Just 1 minute.
I
Dr.
am.
But she
McLean.
doesn't have a
Dr.
home.
McLean since then has twice been found and has been investigated. Nothing to do with me for the same thing he done with me. He got paid money and wrote a false report. How did we confirm this? So just 1 second. I have said to the court, second opinion, I think it's the psychiatrist that needs looking after, not me. Where's his foundation for me having what he's described? His explanation, have you read it? He told me that he didn't have any money, and then yet he went to the parking meter to put change for his Jaguar that overstayed the time as we extended it.
Severe paranoid.
Look, I've seen that.
Let me answer this. So what we've done is we have got somebody far, far more qualified, would be like the master of Dr. McLean. Check Paul Holmes out carefully. He's not just what Dr. McLean is, he's also forensic, which Dr. McLean wasn't. You may or may not be. Look, you bring that to court. You bring that to court.
If you're disagreeing with the diagnosis...
We want Dr. McLean and Mrs. Tamara.
I am extremely...
That diagnosis
and I'm
was
worried about
scrapped by
what
Dr.
painkillers you're
Holmes.
taking and the job that you're doing and the
Shocking
driving that you're
that you
doing.
don't know about that. Yet you know about 2003.
Okay.
And it's shocking that you are mentioning
Don't
I didn't write
don't
severe.
let pull you into this.
You didn't write severe. When I asked you a question, you've completely turned what I said. And instead of me saying to you, 1 second, no, just let me finish.
This can
I've
be
asked
sorted
you a
out in
question
court.
last week saying, why have you emotionally abused my son by making him wait somewhere in the car park for half an hour and telling
About
him he's not
45
going to see
minutes.
our parents? You went and you wrote that I asked you a question as to why were my children late. I know why they were late. I want to know
Because you
why
made
have you
them late.
caused the emotional damage to them by doing what you did. Yet you're telling me I didn't write severe. I read Dr. McLean's report about my husband, and I have also read Dr. Holmes's report about my husband and
Right.
myself.
Bib,
I'm very
Bib,
concerned about
Bib,
your
can I
ability
just
to
say-
actually do
Bib,
any investigation.
Bib, just bring the
full
full files from the second one and we'll drop Dr. McLean's reports in and ask him to come. That's easily sorted out. I know what they're trying to do. And that's fine. You've got your orders. You've got your orders. Right. You tell me what... Alright, talk to me about my psychological and mental health state. Where is your particular evidence, since this is your concern, right?
I am worried.
You personally, yes? Are you a psychologist?
No, but I've got a duty.
Are you a
of care.
psychiatrist?
No, but I have a duty of care.
Have you read
to
the forensic
any
report by
worries.
one of the British government's top
I-
experts on my
I'm
psychology?
just letting you know.
Did you
It's-
read
no,
Holmes's
Bib,
report?
I'm not here.
It says to people like you in his report, as he read it out in the witness box, and we're going to be repeating this in court, so listen to what's going to come. He does not have any mental health problems. However, it may be deemed that way by professionals who are not following their duties correctly, as he will assess immediately their shortcomings. But if they attack him with their shortcomings, he will be extremely difficult to face with. Difficulty does not mean that it's a child care proceedings concern, not a child concern. It means I am unique and I will stand for what majority of the population will not stand for or will not know for and will keep quiet. I will risk my own life and I will do what is right in the interest of innocence, children, family, whatever needs to be done. If someone is attacking my family wrongly, you are keeping my children in false imprisonment under torture terms. That is what it is for them. I'm not interested in what you tell me about my children. You don't know my children. I know my children. So I'm asking you, since you personally, who's just qualified as a social worker on this level from your own statement, I would like you please to tell me from your own assessment as a social worker, what are the actual incidences that you personally have put together that equal to you believing that I suffer mental health concerns that equate to a child removal or child obstruction from seeing me or children from not seeing me. You tell me what you saw me do.
Would you like me to answer?
Well, when I finish, so full stop, now you can finish. Now you can start.
Mr. Shemi, I'm letting you know that I have...
You don't have to say I'm letting you know, just say it.
I'm letting you know that I have raised concerns to adult services.
You said that already. Let me see them, let me see them.
Around your
Tell me
mental
why.
health, okay?
I'm asking you what you've
Around
noticed.
your presentation, your behaviour,
Explain to... Wait a
your
minute.
ability to
That sounds like
understand
Enfield and
and retain
Islington and
information.
Redbridge. That sounds
So
exactly the
that-
same. Now I'm going to
that
ask you the
might
same
be
thing.
okay.
You
I'm
haven't
going to ask
answered the
you...
question.
I've dealt with this in front of Judge Coleridge to social workers. I'm going to ask you the same
I'm
thing.
going to end this because
Listen to
I
me.
have
You can't
told
answer it.
I've told
You can't
what I've
answer it.
done.
I'm challenging you to answer. I'm challenging you
If
to
we
answer.
go back
You
to-
just 1 second. Just
If
just
we
1
go
second.
back to
You
the
cannot.
contract,
Shall I walk out? You talk to her,
No,
or
go
shall I
on.
finish what I'm going to say?
Go on.
Now,
I would like
I've
to
asked you a
separate
clear
that, if
question.
possible.
I want you to show me the proof for my behavior. My behavior, if you look in the dictionary or legalese English,
Can we
whichever
talk
one,
about the children?
you're talking about my behavior.
And I'm saying I've just raised a concern.
Yeah, what is that behavior? I'm asking you.
Can we talk about the...
You can't answer it, and you know, and I know
I'm not willing
I'm
to
giving
go
you an
round in
opportunity
circles.
again.
You have a
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to take this evidence, and what you're answering now, your own mouth will speak against you. I don't need to prove it. I'm asking you again kindly, emphasize and be clear. What is the concern about my attitude and behavior? What is my attitude and what is my behavior?
Can we talk about the children and the contract so we can move it forward?
She can't
I just
answer
like
it.
to answer refuse.
Are you going to
I am
answer it?
refusing because I've just
Okay, that's
answered,
fair enough.
okay?
You
No, that's
didn't
fine.
answer any question.
She did say she's refused, that's fine.
You still haven't answered my question about the children being abused in your care.
No, leave
in
that
the
one.
car
She's not going to
or
answer it.
anything
She's
else,
not going to
so,
answer that.
I just-
You're
But
not
let's-
capable of answering questions.
Is there any point of this meeting?
You
if,
tell me.
You know,
You tell me.
are you in agreement with any of the stuff and expectations? Is it?
Why do you need an expectation? Do you know how many times I was put in this position to see my children during contact and I got them back? And during contact, do you know I've never once in Great London of 15 million people with top judges of this country, with social workers like yourself, some of them with 20 years experience, some of them new like yourself. No one ever put in front of me something like that. No one interfered with contact. Never was it held in social services building apart from once when they went to hit her. The social workers.
So
Why are you
something
drawing
that
up these
is not
things?
gonna
I mean,
sign
for
it.
example, you
So
don't
we're
have to
not
bring...
with
Listen to me.
this.
What is this about bringing furniture, for example? Is that because of the chair?
Is there an issue with not bringing furniture?
No, we don't want to bring furniture. We thought that Han would have liked the chair because he said it's a punishment chair. But here, this is one personal chair that he sat in. And look at the date in August where he was. He was living somewhere else.
Is there an issue with not bringing furniture in?
Why would you bring furniture in for? What are you talking about?
So then.
Do you know, it's not me that has mental health
on to the
problems.
next one,
It's your
like you
IQ
do.
level that's the problem. Do you understand? For you to ask me to bring furniture or not is very, very strange. Okay? You're doing everything to break this family up, but more pictures for you. If you check the date in August 16th, where they were living, Handan, there's the red chair. This is what my family
Can I
looks
leave
like.
you with
More
a
pictures
copy?
for you.
I'll have a copy.
There's more pictures for you of my baby in her seat, very happy. There's more pictures with my baby and the mother and Altai and Handan. There's more of her. This is how my children all are in regards to all their life, okay? All their life. All my children from day they're born until now, that's how they were. What you have done, I tell you something, I will not show you mercy legally for your intentful and intentional and knowing it's going to cause damage to my children and to my family. You've come here under directions from the 4-5 in the legal department to your manager and you've sat down, ask him this, ask him that, what do you think we should ask? Oh look, Dr. McLean, but that's surpassed information. That's superseded. Judge Coleridge, if you read his judgment, what was the other chap? I forgot his name. That information has been squashed and superseded. And should this information be again surfaced without checking with Dr. McLean and Mrs. Cameras first, I will have every right to take legal action on defamation of character and any damages that arise. You cannot re-arise superseded diagnosis, wrong diagnosis, said
It's, Mr.
Dr.
Shelley, it's not me to diagnose you or question if
You
it's
couldn't
right.
diagnose me
Mr.
in the
Shem-
next million
Mr.
years.
Shemi,
It's
not
me who
my-
has already
it's not my
diagnosed
position.
you, and that's part of
Mr.
my
Shemi,
job, what I used to
Mr.
do.
Shemi,
Don't talk down
right,
to me.
I'm going to leave the room, okay? Because
What
it's
you're
not
going to do is not going to make this
okay?
is war till the end.
You just...
See your face?
You're not answering
Watch
any
yourself
questions.
on
Stop
the
what you
internet.
Well,
Every wrong move you make,
Mr.
minus
Shami,
the children's names,
Yeah, to talk
they
about
can
contact
listen.
and
You're threatening my
progressive.
children right now, and you're
Okay.
threatening
Well, you
me,
started
and
by
you give
saying
me
it's for
ultimatums.
mental health.
Now, hold on a minute, will you? Babe,
To report
put those papers
concerns.
down. Tell us what we need to do so we can see the children tomorrow.
Same.
We don't need to talk because
Same.
we're never going to agree. Now, and when this case is finished, we're going to be at the courts, but courts I will want. Last time what I did, and let bygones be bygones, was a mistake.
And if
I won't be
we
letting
sign
go this time.
when can we see the children?
Oh, and by the way, just 1 minute. you've just brought onto the media all the other social workers that were recorded. The children are over the age now. All that stories now come to the surface. The ones that you're reading, it's not going to be the public arena. So you want us to sign this, do you?
No, wait.
Just one
If we
second.
sign
Babe,
this, when
do you
can
want
we
us
see
to
them?
sign this? Yes or no?
Mr.
Social
Shelley,
workers.
I was just going to say, would it be useful for me to talk through that document with both of you so that you know
You
so that
can't,
you know what's
babe,
in the document?
we can't talk at the same time. Just let me.
I don't know whether either of you.
You can do, but I'd
read
like to ask you
that
this.
or not.
Your expectation to have this, what you've just said, is fine. Your expectation is the end result of that, the point, to sign this document.
Well, I think that Charlene's, that was the purpose of today's meeting, to talk through both of you with the agreement.
Yeah, well, you could have
today.
left the mental health till the end. Yeah, we could have dealt with it, can't we? And I've got a specialist psychiatrist as well that will come from Turkey for me, and he's a very big forensic. So we'll have to see what he says as well. And updated of Dr. Holmes with Dr. Holmes if Dr. Holmes can make it. Dr. McLean has been superseded, and if you've used that with his permission, I'll be suing him as well as you. And if this is your decision, I won't be suing the Crown, I'll be suing you personally. If it's the local authority that ordered you to do it, I'll be going after the local authority. Make your mind up tonight, yeah? So you want us to read this, and if we agree with all of this, is what you're saying. You want to discuss it first, I hear you. And the point of it is to sign this,
To agree.
ultimately.
that
So if
we've
we
got
agree
a
this, okay, I've got that.
agreement of expectations and family time.
Right, so once we agree that, if we agree that, hopefully we will, what is it you're going to do with it? Go back and play some more till next week, are you?
Sorry?
I'll tell you a different type of English. So if we agree this, when are we seeing the children?
Well, that would depend on, are you still under the view of you would like an independent service to supervise family time?
I don't think we have a choice. The judge agreed, and so did Mrs. Chowdhury, that this relationship between us and you guys, I don't mean yourself, you seem like a very nice lady. I don't know you, but you seem that way. I can't speak the same for all the other social workers I've met. It's impossible for us to continue here. It's impossible.
Yes. So then I would make contact with that agency and see when they're next available.
Right. So you're going to come back
Today.
to us
If
and
you
you're
sign
going
it
to say,
today,
unfortunately,
I will.
they don't have available. Yeah, look, I hear what you're going to say before you say it. So, try to not keep damaging the children, because ultimately that's who you are damaging. Right? And us as well. So you're saying if we agree, maybe you can see them today or tomorrow. Maybe.
I can't give you a time.
I said maybe.
I'm saying that I would make
But we need to know
arrangements.
times.
Yeah.
Where can we see the children today?
So if you are in agreement, I can contact an independent service today and see when they
Yeah, but they might
is
say
on.
it's next month. Now we want to see the children.
It's too late. You've left it far too late. We need it in court in a few days.
If that was the case, would you like to see the children with local authority involvement?
What do you mean?
So then, in the contact
Can I
team
answer
with
that?
the local authority, if it is, until it
Sam,
progresses
can you stop?
in a
Sam, can you stop?
until it progresses.
All right. So, when you came here today, you obviously thought about Dr. McLean, the Anna Freud Center, one of the court cases, not all
Can we
three of
talk
them.
about the
And
children?
you've talked about that first, though. And you said you wanted to discuss it. Yeah, okay. You wanted to discuss it in front of my wife. I don't have anything to hide from her. She was actually my Mackenzie's friend in that case. In that case that you're talking about with Dr. McLean, she was actually my Mackenzie's friend.
Okay.
We weren't in a relationship by
Mr.
then.
Shemi, I'm going to move on. Let's talk
why
about the
did you
children
mention
in
that and not
contact-
deal with this
in
first?
contact?
No, why
Because
did you
I am
mention
worried
that?
about and I've got a duty
No, you
care
don't.
report
I don't
and
believe for a
concerns
second your work.
and not diagnose you.
I don't. I think
and
you're
not
racist.
question
I
whether
think
it's
you're
a
racist.
diagnosis.
I think you're racist.
You've not got a duty
I think
care.
you're very racist.
Okay, that's your
Right.
opinion.
So, well, it is. But I don't, start screaming about it, do I?
If so, do you want
So-
to, if you do sign it today, I can contact the external agencies. If they do say there's a waiting list for a month, would you be willing to?
I will not be willing to wait for a month.
No, so would you like the local authority to put something in place in the days that we have planned?
He wants to
Monday
answer you,
in
yet you're looking at me.
Wednesday.
Let her look at you. It's up to her. No, you don't have to answer. Don't feel obliged. Let her look at you. You're nicer than I am, maybe physically. Maybe she likes you. I don't know. Let her look at you. Okay, we've heard what you say. You can continue if you like, or we can answer. Which one would you like?
I would like an answer.
Okay, all right. When you came down here, you obviously made lots of plans, as we can hear by what you've said. Did you actually make plans towards if contact went one way or another way, or at this centre or another centre, or there was no availability with independent places? Did you take heed for the children's interest to try and shock them and traumatize them less as possible back on contact again by having the answers if it's going to be here or there or the other place? Did you make all this plan?
Mr.
Do you
Shemi,
know every time you can't answer me, that's what you say?
Mr. Shemi, if I contact an external agency and they do say it, might take a week, 2 weeks, which I don't know, would you like the local authority?
You're meant to, in
Would
your
you like,
position,
would you
you've
like
got
the
a
local
care
authority to
framework.
supervise? Can I finish?
I'll
Would
get
you
you a
like
copy
would
for
you
the
like
court.
the local authority to supervise contact in the meantime?
No, but did you not yourselves, without talking to me about it, you don't do everything after talking to me, do you? Why didn't you go by the legal framework of social services works in a situation like contact issues like this one, as to what steps you should take in case one or the other happens, in the interest of the children, not to delay them seeing the parents?
Mr. Shemi, this is what this meeting is about, and I'm asking for
You never answered my question.
I'm asking for your opinion.
All I'm
on
waiting
what
for
you
is an
want.
answer or a refusal. I'm not going to force you. If you say I refuse to answer, I'll go on to the next one.
Mr. Shemi, I'm asking you, if there is a delay, would you like the local authority to supervise your contact in the meantime?
When will that be?
So the slots have been
Arrange
Monday
contact
and
now in that
Wednesday.
case here at the centre, if you
So are
like.
you saying that
or
if
in a
we
park.
sign this, we can see the children on Wednesday?
No, she's not saying a date because her bosses have to tell her what to
She
think.
just said Wednesday here, for the meantime, until you find the external agency. Is that what you're saying to me?
I would like to think so, yes, because there is.
I would like to think so. It's not an answer.
Yeah.
It's just
So
a
you're
comment.
saying we can see them tomorrow here?
What's wrong with this afternoon?
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
What's wrong with the park?
It's because of the contact workers, so I would have to contact the contact manager to say, have you got availability on the Wednesday? And if that can be arranged, then yes.
Can I remind you that under Article 8, 6, 3 and 5, includes the Children Act in there, of the UNECHR, that the children's the interests are paramount, and the state does not come above the children. The state, nor you the social worker, nor us the parents, come first. Therefore, if you cannot afford a supervisor,
It's saying, Aston, I have another meeting, so I'm going to have to go.
if you cannot afford a supervisor, I hear that you're ignoring what I'm saying, and I intend to use this in evidence against you in a courtroom, the present proceedings, including the civil court damages I'm going to have issued against you, and I'm going to use this recording against you as evidence of what you're doing. I'm not going to make accusations of what those are right now, for a number of
It's
reasons.
up to you if you want to sign it.
This is
and we
absolutely
can
just
progress,
talking over me like I don't exist.
progress
So there you go.
contact. And I would like to hope the thing
You
that
see,
we
we
can have
need
on.
we need very clear answers, and you're very difficult to provide them. You have never actually answered me any of my questions I asked you. We just asked you, if we sign this now, can we see the children tomorrow?
And that
And
would
whilst they're
depend
doing to
on
get the
who-
father out the picture, they've tried the
you-
And
police, they've
does
tried
that
the
apply to both
security,
of us, or
they've
just
tried
me?
all the knife issues. Now, let's get the picture out the way, father out the way because he's unfit. Let's look directly at the mother. But every time she's seen us, she looks directly at you and ignores me, doesn't she? Right. So these strategies that you're doing is going to put you deeper into the litigation issues. I want you to be aware, and I'm warning you from now, I'm going to take action against you. You can stay or go. It's up to you. In the interest of the children, if you take a decision, sit there and listen to it like a proper individual who is
Do you
responsible.
wanna,
And why didn't you make this arrangement before you came here? Because you have two options. We signed it, and you arranged
We're
the
back to
contract,
square one, aren't we?
and we don't sign it, and you don't. If I was a social worker, before we came here today, I would have made calls and say to your contact supervising team, if Mr. and Mrs. Shemi signed this, can you arrange contact for tomorrow so I can give them answers? Because I'm sure they will be asking.
so the
and on the
issue
other hand,
was
why
that you
didn't
didn't
you
want the local
contact-
authority to supervise, so that's why I'm asking you now.
See, she treats me like I'm stupid. I
if there
really
is
find
a
this
delay.
very, very
So I think
insulting.
you're degrading
Okay.
her as a human being.
Right, well, I'll
So why didn't you make calls to external agencies at the same time to find if they have...
If-
See the way,
in
see the way
the-
you put
in
your
the
hands on that
report-
chair and you're doing a threatening figure of I'm going to get up and go, let them beg
I
me.
am going to,
You will be removed this week from this case,
unfortunately,
I
because
can
have
assure you.
other families.
I think you also are on medication and you should not be working at the moment.
Okay.
Nor drive cars. So
Is there any, would
Yeah,
you,
we need to
you know,
discuss
would you
this.
like to sign it, or shall we arrange another?
what you want us to sign not to bring food? Is that realistic?
I'll leave you with a copy of it. And
No, you
go
don't need
home and
to.
you
Don't
can
patronize
sort
me
of-
like that. Don't talk
We
down to
already
me.
read that. For
Okay.
example,
And I don't have
if
mental
I
health
want
problems,
to take
but I'm
my
not sure about
phone,
you.
you've changed this contact agreement as well without even telling me. I was shown a
Many times.
changed copy of it by a contact supervisor during contact, which I've never seen that copy before.
Can we
It
take
came
out the
by
food bit?
post.
Because it says
After.
don't, when to bring food, not to bring food. We already got an order from a judge saying do that, but you're ignoring it constantly. I don't know, but it was, if it's what you've given
Food
us
can be
before.
brought on a Wednesday and a Monday, Wednesday, and a Friday for the, if it, for the
For them to
boys.
eat during contact.
Yeah,
And
but
take-
So what
Yeah.
if I want to? What
Hold
if
on,
I
but
want
you-
to take a phone out
I
and
think-
play a nursery rhyme to the baby if she likes, because you put phones have to be kept in the bag. What's happened with that?
well, no, they've accepted that the recording can take place now, and so did the judge.
No, I'm asking about.
You're fully recorded at all times. The judge knows that. I've offered her the memory sticks. She can listen to it
I'm
all.
really sorry, but
She has no objection.
I can offer you another appointment.
No, we need to do this today. We need to.
Okay.
see
I
the
think
children
what
as soon as possible.
needs to happen is we need to go through that document point by point, because it's important.
Well,
that
I mean,
both
which
of you
bits-
know what it is that's.
Well, I
in
mean, it's
that
very quick. It just
agreement.
takes seconds and a couple of minutes. What, 2, 3, 4 minutes to go through it? I mean, it's very simple.
been here
You want
half
us
an
to
hour.
phone you to stop doing what you're doing. Then you're intentionally doing it to annoy me, so you don't have to do anything. You know what you're doing, and I know what you're doing, and I will prove it. Anyway, it's very simple, isn't it? Really, if you truly are interested for those
Mr.
children
Shelley,
to be with their
sorry
family,
to
you can do it.
interrupt. I'm happy to sit and go through that document with both of you, and then Charlene can take that back to Sabrina, our team manager, have a discussion from there, have a
Well,
discussion
I mean, I
with
don't
the
need two
family
social
tech
workers.
team, and the Children North East service, so I'm happy to do that, but we just need to go through it.
Yeah, all right, we can just go through this because
Yeah.
you can see there's a clash of personality as well here. So at the end of the day, the friction you're causing for your ego and for your narcissism, what you're doing is you're causing damage to the family. So you can see we're not going to get on. I don't have the problem I have with you, with this lady here. I've seen her more times than I've seen you. So why don't you remove yourself, replace yourself with another social worker, possibly allow this lady, so far what I see, she's very professional, and that's it.
Yeah. Bear with for 2 minutes.
Sure, okay. Oh, Dr. Paul Holmes's report and Camille's master absolutely slaughtered legal and local authority and the head social services and
look how she's
also Dr.
pointing.
Gray. We can't talk at the same time. It's not enough time.
Pointing at me saying, because I wrote personality disorder, severe. But she's twisting
Sorry,
my...
who said what?
She's pointed at my writing because I put personality disorder and she wanted me to put severe as well.
Is it?
But
And
yet
it's not,
when
that's
I
been
asked
discontinued by
the
Dr.
question
Holmes.
and she twisted my
Dr.
words
Holmes is his
completely.
teacher. Do you get me? Dr. Holmes is the daddy of Dr. McLean. Dr. McLean got it wrong. Dr. Holmes, so we're going to have to pull those papers forward in court and we'll show that that's been superseded, that does not count anymore. And they can't jump over the last case and go to previous cases that have been superseded. Yeah? She reminds me of those soldiers that go to different countries and just for the sake of the fact that they hate foreigners, they shoot innocent people on bicycles going home with vegetables and fruits in their bag to their families at lunchtime for work, and they take pride in it. When I look at her, that's what I see. I see a lot of other things. She's very, very racist and full of hate, and she's willing to come here and say and do things that is totally untrue, and she has no problem with it. And it's my job to bring all those things to court. And I don't mean this court. They didn't take any pictures, did they? I was doing the hovering. That was 17th, or was it? No, that was 17th or 27th. I'm not quite sure of the date. You can look in your diary. That was 17th or 27th of August. We're talking about days before.
Cleaning the home.
Oh, look. Beautiful little thing. Look. Very nice. They don't even understand what they're doing. Is that the property they said the children lived in, obviously they haven't been able to understand what the children say, because the children speak English but they think Turkish. If they said, "You live here?" "Yeah, we live here." Their understanding is, "This is our home, yes, but we have been for a few months, not staying here." Obviously they've traumatized, shocked the children, break the door down, run into the house, scare the life out of the poor little things. They've asked them a question, they didn't understand the answer. It's a bit like the police saying there was no food in the fridge, but they forgot something. There were no shelves in the fridge, but you see they're so thick, they can't see that until I'm going to have them in front of me in the witness box, and that will be then sorted out. Before then, talking to these people and arguing with them about this, all I wanted her was to do, answer the question, or if she doesn't want to answer the question, it's up to her. She can very easily say, "I refuse to answer." That's fine. That's her downfall. Now go on to the next question. You get into arguments of tit for tat for them, and that's what this one wants here. She's obviously, either goaded at this, and she has, and she's also has got her own personal, vengeful, whatever opinion and racist views, and coming out with, "I have concerns about," what are you talking about? I've got a top psychiatric, psychologist, psychiatric, forensic doctor in this country that the top judges couldn't argue with, and he has reascended and destroyed basically to one side Dr. McLean's report saying it can't be accurate, and it's not accurate because
And they must have
there is
seen
no
it,
such
because
thing.
if they've seen McLean's, they
Then you've got
must
Dr.
have
Then
seen
you've got Mrs. Camara, very big expert on social works and families and children, and expert on seeing domestic violence or abuse to children. She's very good at that. She's been doing it for 35 years. If you think there's something like that, bring her here then. But why doesn't it suit them? You know as well as I do. Because the truth will damage them.
Sabrina's going to sit in with you.
Okay.
Where you've met Sabrina.
Right,
So
yes.
you're all right if we talk through
Far away.
the written agreement. And obviously I haven't seen this before, so I'm just going to read through it.
No, even if you have, don't worry, it's fine.
All right.
Okay.
So it's an agreement between Gateshead Council and Mr. and Mrs. Shami, and it's in respect of your 4 children, in respect of your family time with the children. These points are the points that the local authority would like you to agree with. Obviously I'm aware that there's a lot there, so I won't rush through it because it's important that you understand what it is that we are asking. The first point is that parents are required to ring the Gateshead office, and it's got the specified numbers there, or text, so there's an option to text from one of the mobiles to confirm attendance at family time each morning of the planned session. Mr. Shemi and Mr. Shemi are both required to confirm your attendance. Either I or we will be attending before 8:30. If you don't confirm attendance, then the children won't be transported to family time that day. And if you confirm that I, then only one parent, the one who called or sent the text, will be authorised to attend contact. Should only one parent attend family time with the children, the other parent or sibling will not enter the civic centre or car park, and will not telephone children's social care staff during the family time to avoid any disruption to the children's family time with the other parent.
Should we just answer you as you say them? It's easier.
You can,
Kate,
yeah.
you go first?
Yeah. Do you want to focus on the first
I'll answer. For me, that's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with that point.
And you've done it, you've let me know.
I would
who's
like
coming.
to ask you one question.
So
though.
can you just let us say what she was going to say? Just 1 minute.
Yes, you
No,
said
that's
that we've done
fine,
it. You've done it. You know what you need to do. Just ring
Can
or
I
text.
ask you a question?
Okay.
The previous
Excuse me.
contact agreement, the one before this one, said we have to call you before 8:30. Didn't specify we or I. Could you please explain to me why that morning did you come to try to stop him from seeing the children?
Because that was when we got a message from you to say that you would be coming, but there wasn't confirmation that...
But you didn't say that we both have to confirm by then.
At that time.
This was provided afterwards.
Yeah, and that's why we've made it clear within this one, because
I mean,
again,
the point she's making, that the
why
fact that you
didn't
did that without
tell
an
us
agreement in place for such a
before
thing
that we
is,
both
what was
have
the
to
reason?
do it, and when we turned up, you said he...
I mean, we know the answer, but we're giving you the opportunity to
Do
answer.
you see, I was
If you want.
very, very concerned and upset because of that, because I just copied the message I've sent the day before and just send it, presuming you just want to know if we're coming or it doesn't make a difference.
And
you have
fine.
shown that before.
And that's why at that session, when I came in and I asked you, if you'd confirmed, I became aware that it wasn't
I was a bit
really
lost.
clear in the...
So are you saying that you
agreement.
were under the impression that the contact agreement did specify we both have to confirm?
I thought it said that,
Okay.
Why?
because
Did
that
you
was
see
my
one?
understanding, that
From-
you would
from who?
both
From
need
where?
to confirm.
All right, no problem.
Okay.
So that's what
it's going to
it
be
is
too much
going
time
forward.
taken on
You see,
that
if
now.
I seen this, I would have sent 2 separate messages.
Yeah.
Or I would have
And she would,
called.
believe me, she doesn't.
And do you know what?
Doesn't mind
That's
doing that.
why we've created this, just to be really clear, so
All right.
everybody really understands, what they need to do. Okay.
Baby, if you've got issues with that and so on,
No,
right?
no, I don't. I
There's
just
a
need
place
to
and a
know
time.
from
I think today, I mean, she's made it very clear to you. This is how she's going to answer. So, okay, that's her answer. Come on.
Thank
So,
you.
we agree or disagree? I agree with that because I'm sure you'll do that better and faster than I can, right? Go telephone
Okay,
call.
that-
And it's done.
that's
It's a very small thing when comparison with the children's situation now, even though that's not, in human rights, that's not really how it should go. But it's a small price to pay for, not to disagree.
Yeah.
Fine.
And do you know what? We just
That's
need to know
fine.
who's coming, so then before
We'll
contact,
both always
we
come
can
in.
let the children know who's coming.
One more thing
Unless the
before
police
next
attack me again and I'm
confusion
injured, I can't walk.
happens. If Shine Junior is to attend Wednesday contact, do I have to specify 3 of us are coming? Do
Because
because he might-
you kept
he
on
might
saying,
not, because
you
he
kept
will
on saying
know.
in contacts, even when I was in here, I mean, I've seen stuff, that he's underage and restrictions were put on him when they shouldn't be. So if you see him as underage, then surely the parents can decide. And since he's part of the family, I mean, he is totally part of the family.
Yeah.
He's not outside, he's not even a relative.
Yeah.
So he
It's
should
fine
be able
for
to
him
come.
Yeah, it's
So
fine for
he
him to
doesn't
come.
have to call, or I don't have to inform you he's coming, he can just turn
No,
up.
he can come, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You probably prefer him to come than I come anyway, so there's no need for you to hold him back.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's fine,
we
I'll
agreed on
pass
this
that
point?
on.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
we
the
both
second
agreed on
point,
this.
yeah.
What's the second one?
So, should only one parent attend family time with the children, the other parent...
The other one
is
doesn't
simply-
make... Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
If you are 20 minutes late and have not informed Gateshead office on the number below of the reason why you might be late for family time, then family time will end in order to reduce further distress to the children. And I have to say that is
Well,
that is not just
that
for
is
your
understandable
situation,
because
that's for
for
everybody.
children to expect they're going to see their
Yeah.
parents and then they're
Yeah.
messed about, that is a bad thing in itself. So, yep, that's fine. Yep,
You will remain in the
yep,
civic
you agree
centre.
with that?
Sorry. You will remain in the civic centre building after your family time is ended, so that the children can leave first.
Can we specify the time, how long we have to wait?
Oh, it's only 5 minutes.
Until they go.
Not long.
Okay.
But I think what's most concerning about this one is, not that you have that point, I agree with that, is you've got different disagreements and you keep changing them. And one says that
One
you have to
says
go
we
first,
have to go
the other
first.
one says you have to,
Yeah.
and you know what?
This
in
is the final one.
Child Psychology of Institute of Children's Psychology who have been removed, rightly or wrongly, that's not the point, but who have been removed, who feel traumatized, especially if they're close to their parents, there is only one procedure that should be followed. You can't have both. Now,
This is the one that will be followed.
so it's, the best thing is that, the children maybe are leaving, is what it suggests, not the parents, because they state that it could be partial or, residue of that parents are leaving, and
Yeah.
keep doing the trauma thing.
No, this is the one that
So we'll
will
stay,
do.
and then once they're gone, you can tell us, okay, you can go now.
Yeah,
I don't
if
mind if I have to
specify
sit here
5
5 minutes.
minutes, then
I don't
yeah.
mind half an hour, 5 minutes, whichever.
Oh,
It's
a
a
few
small
minutes.
thing to.
Yeah.
What's that writing there?
I've
5
just wrote
minutes.
5 minutes on, so we'll amend it to
Alright.
put, because Joanne had said, so how long after do you want?
No, we
us
don't
to-
mind how long. You don't have to.
Okay.
You don't have to. It's okay.
Okay. So the next point is the local authority aim to provide you with 24 hours notice if your family time had to be cancelled. All effort to rearrange this will be made. So I suppose that's in the event that any of the children are poorly.
Obviously,
You know,
if there's a
what-
genuine reason, it's not
Yeah.
practically possible. There's nothing anyone can do, is there?
Yeah. But we'll let you know as soon as we can, so
Alright.
we can rearrange it.
Yeah.
Children's social care will provide you with monthly with a copy of your family time recordings as of the 27th of October. Astrea will not attend family time, who will be supported by children's social care with indirect contact.
Regards to the reports being given, I mean, I think this is more for Mr. Gray, the barrister in the court, because I don't know who's in control of those things, but it took 2 months. So when you do that, and you agree and we agree, and you don't keep to it, it's a very bad image that would give of social services that you're not agreeing to what you wanted. We didn't even say what you're saying that you did, but it's taken you 2 months to eventually bring back mixed up copies that still are not complete. So
And
that
it
one is
won't.
pointless, I think, even in your own interests. I mean,
It's just if you want to see copies of the recordings.
if you want it,
That's
we
why
can.
we fight for the court
No.
process.
We do need to see copies because number of is one, we're self-advocating. Therefore, that is necessary. Secondly, if there is any, I'm not saying social workers and local authority per se is not good. Of course, I'm not saying that. The problem is when you have individuals who are breaking the policy, law and procedure. If that happens, then obviously we have to say, well, excuse me, what's this? And by reading that, we can say to a judge, look, this is what this is. Where's your proof? Here's our proof. And the judge can decide what they're going to do.
So should we decide that that'll stay in place and
it's-
that you'll continue to be provided with them?
Yeah, that's simple. What was the second part?
So the
you said-
next part is Astrea will not attend family time. He will be supported by children's social care with indirect contact. If he expresses a desire to attend family time, this will be facilitated.
Right. This is complicated for yourselves, not for me, because I know my son very well. Now, if we agree to that, and he wants to come, and there's some kind of breakdown in communication, intentionally or unintentionally, or somebody misread or misinterpreted, or Sonia decided to start tweaking again and doing things she shouldn't do, Sonia Lord, what I'm talking about, then he's stopped from coming here
No.
when he wants to come, because he does want to come.
Yeah.
He's got a problem with travelling.
Yeah.
That's why he
The
doesn't
foster
sometimes get in the
carers-
car.
The foster carers know that if he wants to come,
They don't know
he
him
can
at all.
come.
They cannot know him at all. At the moment, it's impossible. If they knew him, the number of first things for his survival they wouldn't have missed. Which is this. If you tell him, come on, Australia, you can't have a shower for more than 5 minutes or half an hour, you'll devastate him at the moment.
But in terms of
That's the
family
first thing.
time, they can say to him, would you like to come? And if he...
But that doesn't say that. That doesn't say it's up to him. And if it's up to him, it doesn't need to be there.
If he expresses a desire to attend...
But then
family
you're
time,
not
this-
saying that for Australia and Handan, are you? You're just saying it for him.
Yeah, just as
I don't understand that. Why is that?
Because he's the one who comes along and won't come into the room.
No, there's a reason for that as well. Do you know the reason for that?
Why?
Right. He needs silence. And see that door clicking? If he's standing next to there, that will echo for minutes. Could be 3 minutes, could be 10 minutes. And slap off your hands, like just for party, like if you're dancing. When this first happened to him, and if we used to do a lot of cultural music and dancing, because we do it every day at home, he no longer could even hear that. If you slam a door too hard, or if a car is noisy. Secondly, oxygen intake is an issue because of what we said, that we've been attacked at the house, and how oxygen now circulates in his body. He needs much more oxygen. Now, since this happened to him on the 1st of September, you've seen something I've never seen before. He's got a mask on. From what I hear, what I read, what the children tell me, he's got a mask on all the time. Now, with the problem with regards to oxygen intake, where he has to force the oxygen to get to his system, his body, his brain, etc., with a mask on, it's devastation. I mean, he must want to, he's not trying to run away. He's not trying to do that. If he's pushed anybody in the foster carers previously, or if he's done anything like that, that is because they've caused him something that he's just trying to say enough. He's not trying to hurt, he won't hurt anybody. He's not going to try and run away. None of us would run away from anything anyway, right? He won't run away, but he needs air.
Yeah. And
So
I think it's about
being
us
in a
giving-
room, he's come the first time and the second time. The first time definitely, the second time most of it, and he's sat.
So we need windows.
Even
open.
Altai
he needs-
has
yeah.
tried to explain to a social worker during one of the contacts that if there was less strange people around,
That's
the
the next
room,
thing I was getting
and
to.
the
yeah.
room had like maybe
Just the
bigger
family
space
members.
and some windows open, then he will be
Obviously, he's not going to jump outside to run away because he's already outside on your ground, spinning around the
Now, the
local
changing rooms, a
building.
room like this, for example, he
He
won't
won't.
be able.
He won't be able to.
Now,
So
the room,
we can think about that then. We can think about still having that constant encouragement, asking him if he wants to come and meet, sure he's being asked
See, that's another thing.
regularly, and think about a different venue. If within the civic centre, is there another room that would best suit
Okay.
his needs?
The next thing is I hear very well. I'm just trying to make sure if you're really interested in hearing this, and I'm sure you are, if he sees people he doesn't know, and they've come up to him and said, right, this is what you're going to eat, this is what you're gonna, he's going to turn away from it and walk away. The culture he grew up in, the way he grew up in with this, your rights of freedom of how you're approached, he's lived in it. All of a sudden, you've got a culture that's very different that's come into your life, taken out your house. I mean, that's the reality. The police did remove them by force if they liked it or not. To them, it's now become the enemy, full stop. Now, Handan maybe cries more and wants to say, I want to go home all the time, and doesn't want to listen, he just wants to go home. Altai, he will keep quiet and he will play you because he thinks you're going to harm his family and him. So he's going to tell you things, he's going to say things, he's going to do things. He'll fit into certain things, but it's not how he is. So his fear is different. Australia, he's outwardly with it, but he obviously with the difficulty that exists at the moment. And he does talk to us. He does not talk 2 years ago to the parents that I read. I don't know nothing about this. We've got proof at home all over the place, recordings, films that we used to do, photographs. He didn't have a mask, he didn't have his face covered. Lots of pictures we brought to you before. I think you've got one big picture showing him with Joanna and Altai and Handan and Aisha in the apartment where they were for a few months, which is this one. He just had his white shirt, black trousers. He was talking. He was helping with the baby. I read Handan is actually used to help with Joanna and the children. Handan has never helped Joanna with the
sorry, no
children.
Handan.
Sorry, Altai. The 14-year-old one has said, I help with the children and I help my mum. I mean, bless him. It's not an insult on him. He's never once helped. He's the teenage sort of, if you can say, a bit troublesome and a bit, you know.
Maybe you just
No
let that
childcare
get
issues, but it's a big, it's a handful,
Okay.
Yeah.
right?
We'll bear that in mind, and we'll. Yeah.
So-
I think with Australia, we'll give them the option. You know, it's got
But
to
this
be
is another
what
thing
he
he's not going to
wants.
like. When